Philip Hammond has branded the European Union the enemy and called on its leaders to behave like grown-ups. The Chancellor dismissed bizarre and absurd accusations that he is talking down Britain's economy amid a wave of criticism from some Conservatives over his gloomy approach to Brexit. But admitting that passions are high in the party, Mr. Hammond insisted he was fully signed up to the plans for Britain's exit and said the enemy is in Brussels. Speaking in Washington, where he is attending the annual meeting of the International Monetary Fund, he told Sky News, "I understand that passions are high. I understand that people have very strong views about this, but we are all going to the same place. We all have the same agenda. We all signed up to the Prime Minister's Lancaster House speech. We're all signed up to the Article 50 letter. We're all behind the speech that she made in Florence." Chancellor Philip Hammond answering questions at the Commons Treasury Select Committee. The enemy, the opponents, are out there on the other side of the table. Those are the people that we have to negotiate with to get the very best deal for Britain. Mr. Hammond later apologized for the remarks and said in a tweet in an interview today, "I was making the point that we are united at home. I regret I used a poor choice of words." Former Chancellor Lord Lawson of Blaby has led the calls for Prime Minister Theresa May to sack him, describing his actions as very close to sabotage. But in an interview with the BBC, Mr. Hammond, who has consistently argued for a softer Brexit, insisted that he was committed to gaining the best possible outcome for Britain and called on the EU to move forward in the negotiations. Demonstrators head towards Parliament Square. Signs include "I love EU." The pro-march began in Hyde Park Corner. The march took protesters through the streets of London. One protester brought along a papier match queen, in reference to the blue and yellow hat she wore at the state opening of Parliament. The September sun shone as activists marched through the streets. Roads were blocked during the protest. The campaigners set off shortly after 11 a.m. from Hyde Park Corner. The rally saw the activists march through the streets of central London. EU colours of blue and yellow were seen throughout the march. He said, "Let's move forward like grown-ups to talk about our future relationship, resolve any differences that we haven't, get to a clearer understanding of how we are going to work and live together in the future. Let's behave like grown-ups. Let's talk about the vision for the future. Let's discuss it together and let's get this thing moving." Earlier, Downing Street dismissed reports of a deepening rift between the Prime Minister and the Chancellor, saying she still had full confidence in him. The Sun quoted one cabinet sources saying that relations between the two had become so difficult that they can't bear to be alone together in a room. However, a Number 10 spokeswoman said they have a very good working relationship and they work very closely together.